From Fox 5 New York, this is Good Day Weekend.
Good morning and welcome to Good Day Weekend. It's Saturday, May 31st. I'm Haley Fixler in the Fox 5 newsroom. Thanks for joining us live on the Fox Local app. Well, a big announcement from the Port Authority about Newark Liberty Airport. The runway that had been closed for repairs is now going to reopen on Monday. That is 13 days ahead of schedule. That's all according to a joint press release from the agency and New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy. The work on the $121 million construction project began back in March. Well, President Trump says he plans to double the steel tariff rate to 50%. Looks like we're having some technical issues, but former President Joe Biden is speaking publicly for the first time since being diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. He attended a Memorial Day event in Delaware. Despite cancer spreading to his bones, the former president said the expectation is he's going to beat the cancer.
This is good, We're working on everything. It's moving along. I feel good.
The president also discussed his treatment and says that at this point, he's going to be on medication. Well, Knicks fans are hoping to fill Madison Square Garden at least one more time this season, and not just for a watch party. Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals is tonight at 8 in Indiana. It's do or die time for the Knicks. They face elimination, trailing the series 3-2. And if they survive tonight, Game 7 would be Monday night at the Garden. All right, here's a look at your weekend weather. Today, we do have rain to deal with, and it could be heavy at times. Tonight, on the cooler side, though, with more rain expected tomorrow, then the sun returns and temperatures could reach 70 degrees. Renewed concerns this morning about moms and mental health. New research reveals only a quarter of moms polled say that they are in excellent physical and mental health. But according to the just published study, dads are faring much better. So what's the reason for this mental health decline in moms? Fox 5's Richard Giacobis takes a closer look.
If you've heard it once, you've heard it 1,000 times. Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Each sex is certainly wired differently. But if there was ever a discussion about who actually worries more and who carries that mental load,
look at me. This is the end of my day. I'm just, now I have to go home and cook a meal.
Then it's the laundry and preparing for tomorrow. Women do indeed suffer when it comes to their mental health. A new study from JAMA reveals that moms specifically have seen a significant decline in their mental health. That number jumping from 5.5% to 9% from 2016 to 2023. Dads feel it too, but it turns out not nearly as much as their significant other.
Women are now higher up in the ranks, and there's probably just as much pressure as men are.
I feel like a lot is on my shoulders as is.
Tatiana is a single mom to 8-year-old Annabelle and says her life is certainly more stressful these days.
Men kind of take a lackadaisy approach to things a lot of times. They're like, oh, she'll take care of it. Yeah.
Mothers who attain a lower education and single moms fared the worst, with only a quarter of those surveyed saying they'd consider their mental health as excellent. So why are women feeling this mental load now more than ever? Maybe it's trying to balance your professional life with being a mom, or maybe it's just trying to plan and organize everyday life.
I think women really need to participate in self-care. I think they need to recognize that their own physical and psychological health impact their kids and their families as well.
Well, I think men, at least myself, it's more short-term, thinking women are better planners than men. So because of that, maybe they do have, more stress.
And psychologists say it's those dads who can make a world of difference in a mom's mental health just by listening and acknowledging what they're saying, being that shoulder to cry on a day that they really need it. It can make for a better partnership and an even stronger marriage. So to my wife, Jenna, I'm always listening. On the Upper West Side, Richard Giacobis, Fox 5 News.
An Upper West Side neighborhood is banding together in its fight against rats. So people living on West 109th Street say the rodent problem is just out of control. They see rats on the local playground, chewing through garbage cans and hiding under cars. And now they formed the 109th Street Block Association to help deal with this issue. And according to city records, there have been nearly 150 311 calls about rats on that block since last May.
People walk down the middle of the street, especially at night, to avoid the rats, especially if they're on the garbage. And you can hear them like wrestling around and fighting in the garbage cans.
The city is providing new trash bins as part of a new pilot program to get garbage bags off the streets. So starting tomorrow, most residential buildings in the area will be required to put all of their trash in containers. Well, United and JetBlue Airlines announced a new partnership called Blue Sky. So this partnership is going to allow the airlines to sell seats on each other's sites. JetBlue and United customers will also be able to earn frequent flyer miles on each of those airlines. Now, this collaboration means that United will also be returning to JFK Airport. This is going to be the first time in about 3 years, but that's not going to happen until 2027. Well, if you've had a roommate, you know they can be tough, and sometimes they come with a lot of drama. Well, now there's one man online looking to resolve all kinds of these issues in the city with something called roommate court. But get this, the guy running it isn't even a lawyer. Fox 5's Jessica Formoso explains.
I am a comedian by force. The economy is difficult. It's what was available. Although I do like to consider myself something of a not-for-profit cabaret artist in the evenings.
Times are tough out here, but Michael Aber has found a way to pay his bills.
Bristow and Kevin are boyhood chums.
The LA native has no law degree.
I don't think we should be discriminating judges just based on if they have a Juris Doctorate or any other skills whatsoever. Some of the finest judges I know of probably have no skills at all and no training at all.
He's not afraid to speak his mind and play the part of one. Judge Michael Aber is helping New York City's feuding roommates solve their problems in under 3 minutes on TikTok.
In the same week, she got stung by a bee, her stitches fell out, and she fell out a window?
She had an interesting little spay week, essentially.
That was the week she got spayed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God! I'm inclined to say none of you are Lucy's proper parent. My goal when I go into one of these rooms is to make each individual a little bit more tolerable the next time they re-enter society. It's a public service is what I'm doing.
Roommate Court has gone viral. It's only been around for a month, but each episode racking hundreds of thousands of views.
I think people really need an excuse to yell at each other, and something about my presence makes them really comfortable doing that. I'd like to think when you're with me, you're probably not going to be the loudest person in the room.
The production company behind it, Gymnasium, it produced another TikTok hit, Boy Room. Michael takes his job very seriously, showing up to people's homes, knowing nothing about the feuds.
So how do you prep for this? Do you read the cases? Do you just show up? Is this just, on the spot?
I prep myself by watching the Oprah Winfrey Network and watching how Ayanna Van Zandt handles the people who want her to fix their life.
His goal, solving drama the best way he knows how, with a good laugh.
You resolve it by giving in to people's resentment and pettiness. You offer them the cheapest option possible, and they are thrilled.
In Bed-Stuy, I'm Jessica Formoso, Fox 5 News.
That's amazing. He is hilarious. All right. Well, New York grocery stores could soon be able to sell wine. State Senator Liz Krueger has introduced a new version of a bill as she hopes to drum up some more support. So the new proposal would prevent supermarkets that sell wine from being within 500 feet of liquor stores. Now, the bill also adds a benefit for liquor stores by allowing them to sell snacks, tobacco, and drink mixers. Well, fun cities are bad for your wallet. That is according to a new study, and New York City tops the list. But as Fox 5's Jennifer Williams shows us, Gen Z seems to be valuing their lifestyle more than the numbers in their bank account.
Employers are expected to hire 7% more recent grads this year than they did last year. But given the high cost of living in New York City, it's not the best place to start a career. But it begs the question, would you rather be bored in a smaller city or broke in NYC?
Definitely broke.
Broke, yeah, 100%.
I'd rather be broke in NYC than anywhere else. I can at least walk somewhere as opposed to having to wait on my friend and then having to pay them for gas to drive me around.
I'm in Indiana, and it's boring there. But,
it's not like more enjoyable. Like you're just like, you have more money but nowhere to spend it.
Wallet Hub compared more than 180 cities across professional opportunities and quality of life.
And we took those dimensions and we applied 25 relevant metrics related to job market strength. And those range from availability of entry-level jobs, average monthly starting salary, and housing affordability. And what we found, out of 102 cities, New York City ranked 179.
These metrics were scored on a 100-point scale that was eventually used to determine a city's weighted average. When it came to availability of entry-level jobs, New York City was dead last in that area.
New York was also dead last in average commute time and, surprise, housing affordability.
I've lived in New York City my whole life, so I know the New York City vibe and how you can just do whatever, whenever you want to do it. And it's a tough thing to find somewhere else, and it's hard to change from that culture to a different one. And at least that's the struggle that I find. So I think I'd rather be broke than bored.
NYC is totally worth it.
Yes.
In the East Village, Jennifer Williams, Fox 5 News.
All right, an interesting question there. Well, don't go away. We'll be right back. But first, here's the forecast for the week ahead. Week, we were joined by a doctor to discuss the new COVID strain that's now spreading all across the country. Here's what she tells us.
Joining us now is Dr. Jacob Kurgan with Maimonides Health. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us.
Good to be here. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so you hear COVID, you start to get some PTSD. The CDC says that this new variant has been detected in airport travelers coming from multiple countries. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so nobody likes to hear COVID and, resurgence or something. I think the last time we were talking about a new strain was back in 2021 with Omicron, if you guys remember that. So we have this new virus variant. It's called NB181. As far as we can tell, it's been around for about a month. Seems to have originated in China, and now we have what looks like information that it's spread to a bunch of other countries. The world is a global place, so the U.S., which is why we're talking about it, but also Canada, UK, Australia, other parts in Europe. The virus seems to be the mutation seems to be in the protein that allows it to infect things a little bit more easily. So the concern here is it appears to be a little bit better at spreading itself. It does not seem to be any worse in terms of the severity of illness. So the cough, the fevers, the sore throats that we get are expected to be about the same.
And this comes as the Trump administration announced plans last week to limit the annual booster vaccines. How concerned are you about that heading forward?
I know vaccines can be controversial, but I think that the majority of physicians, myself included, think that vaccines are probably the best thing we've ever done in medicine in terms of saving lives and preventing spread of infectious disease. So definitely a concern. It looks like the booster vaccines will be available more for at-risk people, which is usually 65-year-old and above, people who have immune suppression or some other chronic diseases. But we also know that when younger, healthier people get immunized, there's herd immunity, and that prevents spread. So we definitely are fans of spreading vaccines to as many people as possible.
All right, doctor, thank you so much.
All right, some good information there. We'll be right back with a story that may inspire the next generation. But first, let's take a look at the weather for the week ahead. Welcome back. Well, this week we checked out some cool, innovative, and electrifying technology that is sure to inspire the next generation of inventors. Good Day's Ryan Christopher takes us to the Liberty Science Center.
Actually a blast from the past, all made by Nikola Tesla, and you can see the only Tesla phaser in the world right here soon at the Liberty Science Center. It's right here. Madison is wielding that beautiful piece of technology, and also over here we have Paul Hoffman. He is the CEO of the Liberty Science Center. Paul, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. I hope this goes well.
I hope so too. You said that there's like a 98% survival rate?
Totally. It's 300,000 volts we're going to zap you with.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That'll wake you up here first thing here in the morning on Good Day New York. Let's talk about the technology behind this. So
Sure.
there's 300,000 volts, and if you could do a little spin for us, Madison, you look like one of the Ghostbusters, but the technology is wild.
Yeah, there are lithium batteries in the back, and the charge builds up in the coil. And what Nikola Tesla was trying to do was actually transmit electricity through the air.
Crazy.
He thought, we shouldn't have power lines. Let's just beam it in people's homes. It really can't go that far, but it can go a few feet, and that's what we're going to demonstrate.
And so I see that there are little coils attached to the bottom of the shoes there, so that's to keep everybody grounded. Is that what it is?
Madison is grounded.
Yes.
We don't want to lose anybody this morning. That'd be bad.
No, that would not be good. That would not be good. So for our first demonstration here, we have a butane balloon.
We have a balloon, and the
I'm going to step over here behind you. Okay.
Is going to
I'm hiding behind Paul.
Heat the balloon, and you can. This is the only place in the world, Liberty Science Center, where you can see this.
Wow.
We're the only ones that have this phaser. Let's go.
Okay. Matt's saying, get the heck out of the way. Whoa! That was bigger and better than the last one, I think.
Pretty nice,
Nice job,
right?
Madison. Okay. And now this feels like I'm being put underwater in a giant shark cage right here. So what is this?
So this is called a Faraday cage. It's not solid, 'cause obviously we can see you. It's like a mesh, and it spreads the charge out. And this is not just for a demonstration here. This is what like folks from Con Edison and PSE&G use when they go down and repair power lines to protect them. I mean, they actually have a Faraday suit, just like you have on your arm here. I'll move out of the way because I don't have a suit.
Right. And this is safe, Paul, maybe?
We hope so.
We hope. Okay. I love your confidence.
It's completely safe.
Okay. So tell us about what's about to happen.
So you're going to get zapped with 300,000 volts, and it's going to disperse it and spread it out through the ground, and you will be fine. We hope.
Madison looks way too happy right now. Okay, Madison, take it away. Here we go. Oh! That is crazy. Look at this. Wow.
Right? You can't feel it at all, right?
I can't feel anything. That is so crazy. And again, it's 300,000 volts, so it's serious voltage right there, right? Wow. So cool. Again, this is happening at the Liberty Science Center. Right now, it's just on display. Hopefully later this summer, it'll be open to the public, but you're seeing it for the very first time right here, live.
All right, that's very cool. We'll be right back with some good news for music lovers. A look at your weekend weather. Today, we do have rain again to deal with, and it could be heavy at times. Tonight, on the cooler side, and more rain expected. Now, tomorrow, though, sun returns and temperatures could reach 70 degrees. Well, Forest Hills Stadium's Summer Concert Series kicks off this weekend. Block Party takes the stage later tonight. From May 31st until October 25th, about 2 dozen different artists are going to perform, including Fish. So the concert series was in jeopardy after people living nearby complained about the noise. But in April, they struck a deal to allow this series to continue. Well, this past Monday would have been Miles Davis's 99th birthday. And to celebrate, the Smoke Jazz Club on the Upper West Side is celebrating. So through June 8th, they're going to have 2 different quintets and 2 members, Dr. Eddie Henderson on the trumpet and George Cables on the piano, performed on Good Night New York. Take a listen.
life. Well, first of all, you were influenced by Miles Davis, but your parents knew him? Is that correct?
My stepfather was Miles Davis's doctor, and my mother was in the original Cotton Clubs, so she knew everybody in show business.
I like
So when I came home from high school trumpet lesson, lo and behold, Miles Davis was staying at our house.
Wow!
For 2 weeks. And so I had heard of him, but I really wasn't that familiar with his music.
Right.
So he took me to the gig that night, and thereafter for 2 weeks straight, John Coltrane was in his band, Cannonball Adderley.
All the greats.
All the greats. Blew my mind.
All the legends.
Yes.
And did you once get a private lesson from Louis Armstrong?
Well, actually, my first 2 lessons in life when I was 9 or 10 years old, my mother knew Louis Armstrong. He gave me my first 2 trumpet lessons on his horn, taught me how to make a sound on the trumpet, but I was too immature at that time.
Right.
But when I heard Miles Davis's band play, the light went on in my being. I said, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life.
All right.
Very cool. All right, we'll be right back with this morning's top stories.